I had family members who believed my actions were selfish. I know they're wrong. I never set out to hurt them, never set out to affect anybody like that. My attempt was based on mental pain. What's crackin', Hope Nation? It's good to see you. It's Kev again. We're here for another round of Ask Kev. So you guys sent in the questions and I'm going to answer them because I appreciate you following the feed at Kevin Hines Story on all social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then YouTube.com/Kevin Hines, which you're on right now. Why am I telling you that? You're already here. Okay, the first question I want to answer is a really important one to me, and it means a lot. I'm going from bottom to top. Is suicide selfish? Let's get right into it. I don't believe it is. I think that there are a certain group of people that believe it is around the world. I firmly disagree. When I attempted to take my life off the Golden Gate Bridge, a way that is 99% fatal, where only 39 individuals have survived that fall, and only 5 of us can walk, stand, and run, I was not thinking about hurting any other people. I was not thinking cognitively about harming someone else with my actions. When you're selfish, you know you're going to hurt someone. You know you're doing something that is solely for yourself, that is going to affect other lives in a negative way. And people who die by suicide, people who attempt to die by suicide, and people who live with chronic suicidal thoughts are not selfish. They are going through the worst pain in their entire existence. I had family members who believed my actions were selfish. I know they're wrong. I never set out to hurt them, never set out to affect anybody like that. My attempt was based on mental pain, brain pain as I like to call it, living with bipolar disorder just like my biological parents had before me. Shout out Marcia and Martino, may they rest in peace. Even my birth mother died in a way by her own hands. So I know and have no ill will towards her or the 7 other people I lost to suicide in my life, including 3 of the greatest brain health advocates and violence prevention advocates this world has ever known, and including my wrestling partner, Marty Bonet. Shout out Marty's family. We miss you. We love you. We're sad you went the way you did. We'll never forget you. You were a person in my life that, although it was a short-lived time that I got to know you, it was amazing, and you're an amazing human being. I never once thought you were selfish what you did. I'm sad that you're gone. It depresses me sometimes. It breaks me sometimes thinking about the 8 people that I've lost, that everyone else who loved them lost, and all the people that have lost loved ones around the world. But I've never once believed that those actions are selfish if done in a place where you're in so much emotional, mental pain that you believe you have to die. You believe you have no other option. You're compelled to die rather than deciding to. People who have lethal emotional pain, as John Draper calls it, you heard me say it before, are not in a logical, rational, and right-minded situation. They are in such an epic and insurmountable lethal emotional pain, they can barely stand on their own 2 feet, and they believe this is the answer. They've seen people do it before, die by their hands or attempt, and it becomes an option. Listen, folks, suicide is one of the most courageous things you can ever do. It's the most dangerously courageous thing you can ever do. Let me be very clear. It's not courageous in the sense that it's the right thing or it's righteous. It's courageous in the sense that to do what I did, to make that leap, takes one heck of a lot of courage to get over that rail or to attempt to die. Don't misunderstand my words. It's a dangerous courage that should not lead people to attempting. It should lead people to running up to the person in front of them, to the right or to the left, and saying, I need help now, and begging for it until they get it. I'm sorry for you who feel it's a selfish act. I completely disagree. You can debate me if you'd like. Send me more questions on it. I'm glad to answer them. What I did and when I did it and how I did it was because of pain. What is the one thing you want to happen, my new friends on this feed, when you find yourselves in critical, lethal emotional pain that leads you to attempt to die? You want that pain to end. And people die by suicide just like they die from any other organ diseased. If your liver is failing and you have no liver transplant available, you're gonna die. If your heart is failing, if your lungs, if your kidney, they can cause death. Death from heart disease is real. Nobody commits suicide. The vilifying way we look at suicide is, in my opinion, needing to go out the door and never come back. Walk away, close the door, and keep on walking, buddy. You're not invited to my house. So it's not selfish. They're dying because of lethal emotional pain that they have little to no control over. What we can do is, instead of waiting for them to reach out, we, the people without those feelings and thoughts and emotions and ideations, can reach in, no matter if we see the pain on their faces, their bodies, or not. So that means that you're checking in with your friends who matter to you. You're checking in with them on a regular basis, and you're even asking the question to some of them, hey, I'm a little worried about you, don't know why I have this feeling. Can I ask you a question? You're my friend, we're family, we love each other. I'm worried about you. Have you had suicidal thoughts? And have you made a plan to take your life? It doesn't put the thought in their mind if it's not already there. What it does do is help that individual be honest about their pain, give permission to them to speak on it so we can keep them here. So if you're out there and you're considering suicide, here's what I want you to do. I want you to text CNQR to 741-741, the crisis text line, CNQR. It stands for Conquer Your Pain, hashtag Conquer Pain, spelled CNQR. Courage to talk about your mental health, normalize the conversation, ask the question, are you suicidal and have you made plans to take your life? And recovery is possible, living proof. We believe in you here at the Kevin and Margaret Hines Foundation, here at youtube.com/Kevin Hines, the vlog. We believe in you at Kevin Hines Story. We want you to stay. And if you're going through it and you're trying to find a way to get through those chronic suicidal ideations, I have an idea. Just find yourself a way to be here tomorrow and every single day after that. One damn day at a time. All right, guys, that's my answer for is suicide selfish? You get it right now. You understand where I'm coming from. You can come from a totally different place. We can have a bickering YouTube questioning match about it. You can write to me on YouTube. I always write back to my YouTube folks, and I always either like it or hit that heart button or that like on those comments. I'll respond to the comment if you have a question. Okay, what is the one thing you're grateful for? Oh, you guys, this is easy. Her name is Margaret Hines. She is my wife. She is my rock. She's the love of my life and my best friend. And we've had some rough times in the marriage because of my brain. I've told you that before on the How I Met My Wife in a Psych Ward vlog and my Undying Love vlog about my dear Margaret. You know, it's not been easy. My brain takes me to places that lead me down a road of isolation and anhedonic state. Anhedonia, if you don't know, means that you do not care or love or like for anything and anyone in your life. So, you know, holding immeasurable gratitude for someone, something, or some experience in your life is very important. Gratitude and resilience are two of the greatest protective factors in suicide prevention. I've told you this before. But I'm grateful for Margaret because of her undying love for me. I put her through in my mental pain. And I live with often an experience, or rather a symptom called anhedonia. I've lived in an anhedonic state where in an anhedonic state, which is a definable mental issue, you don't have love, care, like for anything or anyone in your life. Not your dog, not your cat, not your bunny rabbit, not your mom, not your dad, whom you love dearly if you have a good relationship with them, not your family, not your friends, not your doctors, and not your wife. Yes, anhedonia is very real. You can look it up if you want to learn about it and understand it. We'll put some information or a link in the description so you can have somewhere to go directly to know about it. It led me to, on several occasions, many times in my life, to nearly break up some of the most important relationships that exist within my world. And this woman, Margaret, who has loved me from the get-go, who I fell in love with at first sight. I looked into her eyes and I knew she would be the rest of my life. I put her through hell because of my brain illness, my diagnosis. And I'm not adding it as a crutch. I'm not leaving it as an excuse. This is a fact. I know what I like when I'm well. I know what I love when I'm well. Often when I am so manic and so unwell, like I was most of last year, you saw the content, you know what I'm talking about. When I had those second-degree burns from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head, bloody blisters throughout my entire body, excruciating pain for 30 weeks, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, I became anhedonic about everything and everyone again. I went to New York with my wife and our entire family on Thanksgiving, and I ruined the entire trip for everybody. Everybody. But most importantly, I ruined the trip for my lovely wife who just wanted to entertain her family, who came all the way from the Philippines and Australia. You know? And I take responsibility for my actions, whether manic and anhedonic or not. I crossed 3 state lines to do vlogs you'll never see because they're totally inappropriate. You know, they're inappropriate because I was so unwell, it's not safe for me to put that out there for people to emulate. I learned my lesson. I learned that even in that state of mind, even in that pain physically that drove me to extreme heights of mania and that led me to, as I would call it, flatline in this anhedonic state that pushed away my family, my friends, my loved ones, most importantly, the love of my life, Margaret Hines. It led to situations that could have easily broken up a lesser marriage. Situations where one of us could have walked away. But we didn't, because I recognized through self-awareness techniques that this was an anhedonic state and it wasn't the average Kevin Hines. And I obviously recognized because everyone was telling me how very manic I was every step of the way. If you saw the content from a year and a half ago to halfway through the year, or you saw me at presentations being a different Kevin, and you saw this nonsensical extra identity K Shines that I ran with for months because of that manic state of being, you know what I'm talking about. And you know, I'm embarrassed about that stuff. I'm more importantly hurt deeply that I hurt my wife, the most important person in my entire existence. I loved her from the get-go. She loved me from my first date. Don't let her tell you different. All right. More than anybody in this life, she's given me the greatest opportunity to be my genuine, authentic self. And it ain't K Shines. Kicked him out the door, out the window. Don't worry, there's nowhere to fall. It's a bush, you know. He landed on the bush, he fell on the concrete, didn't hit his head, had a little brush on his elbow. He's doing fine somewhere else, way, way far away from me, bothering somebody else's manic episode, but not mine. I realize that we all make mistakes in this life. We all affect people in negative ways sometime in our existence. In my speeches, I ask people, how many of you have ever been hurt by someone's words or actions? 100% of the crowd usually raises their hand unless they're lying. And I say then, how many of you have ever hurt someone with your words or actions? And everybody raises their hand as well. And I say, I'm going to give you the answer to my next question. The answer to my next question is a loud, audible, and resounding now from all of you. Sometimes crowds of thousands. When does the hurting of those we love and know with our words and actions stop? And 1,000 people yell now, or 500 people yell now. And it is the most beautiful thing to see them get this off their chest, that they can go home and potentially be better to those they love. So Margaret, thank you for being my rock. Thank you for being what I am eternally grateful for next to my faith in God. And guys, I'll see you soon on the feed. Be here tomorrow and every darn day after that. You're beautiful just as you are. You're perfect in this moment right here. And if nobody else says it today, I love you and I want you to stay. On that note, guys, you best go to kevinhinesstory.com/shop, kevinhinesstory.com/shop. Get your healthiest merch in the game today. And right here, we have something brand new for you. This is Herbert. This is the sea lion right here in this little emblem that saved my life in the waters under the Golden Gate Bridge. Thank you, Herbert. Thank you, the heavens above, for sending this creature to keep me above water until the Coast Guard boat arrived behind me. On the back is the mental health ribbon, that bright neon lime green. And we want you to cop your workout merch today. Get in the gym, get on the ground. If you're physically capable, do the work however you see fit. Get those weight bands, that weight ball, and get pushing your body to its limits so you can feel better up here. Sanity over vanity is the key. Let's hashtag that. Hashtag sanity over vanity. Go do the hard work. Be the hardest worker in the room. have a will to find a way to change your life today, tomorrow, and the next. And I'll see you soon. Make sure you go once again to kevinhinesstory.com/shop. Get your healthiest merch in the game today. We will be coming out with a workout line, these kinds of shirts for men and women, and some workout shorts and some other workout apparel for you very soon. Dropping that in the beginning of 2020. I got mine already. Maybe the end of 19 if you're good. All right, guys, that's Ask Kev. We'll be coming back with some more questions and some more answers. Thank you for sending them in. Keep it coming. See ya.